You know, when you see a truly explosive athlete, that first step off the line, that knockout punch, what are you really seeing? We always think, wow, look at those muscles. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the real secret isn't in the hardware, but in the software, the actual code that the brain is running?
So let's get right into it. What's the real source of that explosive power? Is it just about having a bigger engine? Or is it about the speed of the command that ignites that engine? Well, the answer is probably going to change how you look at performance forever.
Because, the research is pointing to something pretty incredible. The thing that really separates the good from the great, it's the quality of the signal that the nervous system sends to the muscle. It's like a neural speed code. And today, we're going to crack it.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at what makes us fast, and it's not just muscle. Then we'll uncover the brain starting pistol. After that, we're going to decode something called neural drive, and its two-part speed code. And finally, we'll see how the entire game is won in just a few milliseconds.
All right, first up, what really makes us fast? It's time to move beyond that old idea that it's all about muscle size. Think about it. Every single thing you choose to do, from the delicate touch of a pianist to the absolute raw power of a sprinter blasting off the blocks, it all starts as a plan inside your brain. Your nervous system is basically the conductor of this incredible orchestra of muscles.
And that command pathway? It's a super fast cascade from the top down. It kicks off in the brain's motor cortex, zips down the spinal cord, hits the right motor neurons, and tells them to fire. And bam! Those neurons activate the muscle fibers and you get movement. It's an amazing high-speed delivery system.
Okay, now let's zoom in on what I'm calling the brain's starting pistol. This is that critical command that fires before you even really start moving, and it decides everything in a flash.
So, the term we absolutely have to get our heads around is neural drive. This is it. This is the bridge between your intention to move and the actual action. It's the message that tells your muscles not just what to do, but how to do it, with speed, with force, and with precision.
So what is it, really? Well, neural drive is the grand total, the sum, of all the little electrical signals, or spikes, coming from every single motor neuron that's plugged into a muscle. It's not one signal, it's a massive, coordinated chorus of signals all firing together.
Here's a simple way to think about it. A weak signal, kind of like a neural whisper, might get a muscle to twitch a little. But for real, explosive power, the nervous system needs to shout. And it's not just a loud shout, it's a perfectly organized, timed, and synchronized shout. That is the essence of high-performance neural drive.
So how does the brain actually write this code for speed? Well, it turns out it's a two-part system. Let's break it down.
Okay, so the research boils it all down to two key things. On the left, you've got recruitment speed. That's how fast you can get all your motor units, the neuron and the muscle fibers it controls, to join the party. Then, on the right, you've got discharge rate. This is how many times per second each of those units is firing. For an explosion of power, you need to recruit a ton of units, and you need them all firing like crazy.
And when I say firing like crazy, I mean it. We're talking about motor neurons discharging at over 200 hertz. That is 200 signals per second from a single neuron. It's just an incredible electrical demand for maximum power right now.
And this chart really puts that into perspective. Look, for just a normal, sustained movement like holding a cup of coffee, your neurons are maybe firing 10 to 40 times a second. But for an explosive jump or sprint, it's not even in the same ballpark. That leap to over 200 hertz is what separates a stroll from a world record dash.
And this isn't just a cool theory. The science is clear. This landmark study found that it's this exact combination, how fast you recruit and how high the discharge rate is, that explains why some people are just way more explosive than others. It's the neural signature of an elite athlete.
All right, now we get to the part that is just, well, it's kind of mind-bending. It turns out that the entire battle for speed is decided almost instantly, and it's all thanks to this initial burst from the nervous system.
Okay, check out this timeline. At time 0, the nervous system unleashes that massive, high-frequency burst. Now get this. By just 35 milliseconds, that's faster than you can blink, the potential for that entire movement is already locked in. The outcome is decided. And notice, this all happens before your muscle has even had time to start producing any real force.
Let that just sink in for a second. The performance, the explosiveness, it isn't decided during the movement. It's decided by the quality of the signal sent before the movement.
The potential for that huge, powerful action is completely encoded in that initial, super brief burst of neural drive.
So what does this elite neural speed code really look like? It's these 4 things: a powerful command from the brain, lightning-fast recruitment of motor units, and an incredibly high discharge rate. But here's the magic key. All of it has to be perfectly organized, timed, and synchronized in that first tiny burst. That's high performance in a nutshell.
So what's the big idea we should walk away with here? It's actually pretty simple. Explosive performance, it's programmed. It's not just built.
At the end of the day, true explosive power is a skill. It's a skill of your nervous system. It's about way more than just having strong muscles. It's about your brain's ability to send those muscles the perfect signal, a super intense, perfectly organized, timed, and synchronized command, all within the first few milliseconds. It's neural skill.
And that, of course, leaves us with one last massive question. If the race is won or lost in that first split second of neural code, it means training for speed isn't just about training your body, it's about training your brain. So the real question becomes, how do you teach your nervous system to write a faster, more powerful, more explosive code?